Good evening and welcome to Ukraine Brief. I'm Diana Skaya. Today marks 1,448 days since Russia launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine. And here are the top stories of the day. Russian attacks continue to cause severe damage to Ukrainian energy infrastructure. These include strikes which have landed within mere kilometers of the Polish border and have played their part in causing tens of thousands of people across the country to lose power. Now, in the city of Novovolynsk, located only 6 kilometers from the Polish border, 80,000 people were left without power after Russia struck a high-voltage substation in the area on Monday night. In Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, authorities are still struggling to return power and heating because of persistent Russian strikes on regional energy infrastructure. According to Mayor Vitaly Klitschko, roughly 1,400 residential buildings were without heat as of this morning. Ukraine's largest private energy firm, DTEK, has said that Russia also carried out a large-scale strike against a facility in Odessa on Monday. Ukrainian energy workers described the attack as more powerful than previous assaults, with sections of power facilities left in complete ruins. Now, Ukrainian officials are relocating certain electrical substations underground in an effort to shield critical energy infrastructure from Russian strikes. At one Ukrainian power facility, an official from DTEK said that Russian attacks are repeatedly targeting energy infrastructure that workers have already been forced to repair.
I just want to cry, nothing else. Just looking at what's happening makes me want to cry, especially since some of the equipment had already been repaired and put back into operation, and the work that had been done is now being redone. And there's nothing worse for a person who's done something than to have to redo it. When you see that your work has been destroyed, do you understand? It's very difficult.
Russian forces continue to also target towns in the Ukrainian-controlled Donetsk region, inflicting extensive damage and civilian casualties. Now, Russian forces dropped 7 FAB-250 high-explosive aerial bombs on the city of Sloviansk in the eastern Donetsk region earlier today, killing an 11-year-old girl and her mother. According to the regional governor, 16 people were wounded, including another child. 14 private houses, 2 apartment buildings, and other civilian facilities, including a gas station and more than 20 vehicles, were damaged. The attack occurred at around 10 a.m. when Russian forces struck various parts of the city with guided bombs. One of the strikes hit a private house where the bodies of a woman and her child were later found. Over the past week, Russian forces have continued targeting Sloviansk and other towns in the Donetsk region using this tactic, causing significant civilian casualties and damage. Donetsk Governor Vadim Filashkin wrote today on Telegram, "Every day in the Donetsk region brings new war crimes committed by Russia. Strikes on peaceful cities, on homes and on children. This is terror for which there is no justification." In Kramatorsk, sappers safely removed the remnants of a Russian FAB-1500 glide bomb that had been dropped by Russian aircraft the previous day. The head of Estonian foreign intelligence says Russia is pursuing a 2-track strategy, prolonging peace talks in Ukraine while trying to ease sanctions and boost its economy.
I see here that Russia is trying to put the negotiations in 2 tracks. First track, peace in Ukraine. We see that Russia is willing to drag those negotiations endlessly, since Russian leadership currently still thinks that time is on their side, which I don't see actually. And at the same time, trying to separate from this track the bilateral relations to US with the main goal of relieving sanctions and getting additional oxygen to their economy, which then, if that would be the case, would change the situation immediately and the Russian economy would have much more oxygen.
The International Olympic Committee has barred Ukrainian skeleton racer Vladyslav Heraskevych from wearing a custom helmet honoring Ukrainian athletes killed in Russia's war. Now, Ukraine's Olympic Committee asked the IOC on Tuesday to approve the so-called helmet of remembrance, arguing that the design contains no political slogans. The IOC later rejected the request, saying that the helmet cannot be worn at the 2026 Winter Olympics in Italy. Instead, the committee said that Heraskevych would be permitted to wear a black armband stressing that the field of play remains as neutral as possible. Despite the decision, the 27-year-old skeleton racer wore the helmet during Tuesday's training session, posting the second fastest time, 56 at 40 seconds, finishing just behind Britain's Matt Weston, who clocked 56.11 seconds. In a statement on Monday, President Zelensky hailed Heraskevych's commemoration of fallen Ukrainian athletes, saying the truth of Russia's war cannot be labeled as political demonstration. And for more on that, let's hear what Heraskevych told reporters on Monday.
Yeah, so Rule 50, I believe it's about political or statements which make some harassment against other nations and other people, other athletes. I believe it's not the case. So yes, I believe it should be allowed to compete in this helmet and also to pay tribute for some of the members of Olympic family. Some things are more important than sport, and it's no medal that worth the same as life of people. And we lost many of them, and yeah, I believe that it's important to show that also.
And that's all here on Ukraine Brief here on TVP World. I'm Diana Skaya. Thanks for watching, and stay with us here for more on TVP World.